Oh, this is great. All right, man. We're up. We're up and running. There we go. This is going to be fantastic. All right, no one panic. Now we're live. I got kicked off the stream for some reason. I knew. I know you guys can hear me, unless you, well, whatever. There's been a problem with YouTube all day, and I tried to double the stream to Facebook, and then I had a problem with Bill's sound, and then everything just went to shit. So, but we're rolling now. So I'm just gonna wait for everybody to get on board, man. There we go. Yay, here we go. Robin's back. Everybody's back. Yeah, tech issues. Tech issues as always. I have lots of tech issues here. First of all, I apologize for all the red in the video, man. Look at that. I just changed the backdrop, my shirt, my sheet, all kinds of stuff, and it's just it's way too much red. I'll deal with that next week. I apologize. Hi, Robin. I'm glad you're here. This show is just all over the place, man. Let me see. I think we're good. Bill, you're listed as Laura Orico for now, but you're going to be live in a second, so it doesn't really matter. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Let me check the main channel. Let me check the feed. We'll try to share this. Yeah, your build is Laura Orico. Look at that. It says Laura Orico. Very nice. Thanks for sticking around, you guys. I really appreciate it, man. You guys are the best. Yeah, there are a lot of issues today. There was something wrong with YouTube, so none of the videos were working. So I tried to share everything to Facebook, and then that didn't work. And then everything just fell apart. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Boom. I wanted to mention that right there. Look, there is the new the new financial support if you want to support the show, because obviously I need a lot of support because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here half of the time. Feel free. You can go to any one of those spots right there. You can go to you can Venmo me at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. I now have a Cash app, Lenny Schmidt Comedy. You can go there as well. And then you can go to my website, lennyschmidt.com/if you can. You can donate money to all those. Also, if you want, I know a lot of you guys are awesome and you support me, and I appreciate you watching the shows, and I appreciate you supporting the show every week or every other week. But if you join the Patreon page, you can go as little as $1, $2, $5 a month. And that way, not only do you get in the loop on everything, but you get all the emails when I coordinate with everybody. I touch base with everyone, let them know what I'm doing quality-wise or content-wise as far as getting the stuff out there. So let me get these videos back out there, and I guess we're ready to go. I don't know how many people we have here. Let's see. I know Robin was here. And you have, Tammy's here. Robin's here. First of all, I mentioned it earlier. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. To Vince and Keith, I know for sure you guys are followers of the show regularly. Thank you very much for your service. I appreciate it immensely. And anyone else that's watching the show that is a veteran, I can't thank you enough. We all thank you enough. We're able to do this because you do what you did. Our people are slowly getting back in. I can't apologize enough. I know everybody has sound. The sound issue was my problem. That was me. Okay, so let's not blame YouTube for my sound issues. You know what? Fuck it. I'm blaming the kids from Westview for everything. It's the kids from Westview. They did everything. They're over at YouTube today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. All right, Alex is here. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, like the video again. I apologize. I don't know what happened. We had a bunch of viewers, and then we got froze. I believe that was a YouTube issue because YouTube has been having issues all day long. So their videos were completely down just a short while ago. So hopefully we can get to this. Also, thank you to the Runions, who I don't know if they're back yet. I did. I went from a massive sign to a small sign, Alex, because it got to be a pain in the ass to lug out the big. This is a small little cloth one. It's only like 3 feet by 2 feet or 4 feet by 2 feet, something like that. The other one is a canvas backdrop that you hang on a building that is 11 feet by 8 feet that I was putting up in my bedroom every day when I was doing this show. And it was, and then I had trouble with this today. So honestly, I have trouble with everything. Yeah, YouTube. All right, everybody's back. You guys are great. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Runions are here. Let's cover this really quick. The Runions are under hurricane watch. They're in Florida, and they sent me a message before the show saying, hey, there's a hurricane headed toward our house, but we're going to watch the show anyway until we get an evacuation notice. That is a committed fan. That is commitment. You guys win fans of the, you know what, just for you, hold on, I got a surprise for the rest. Here, hold on, look what I have. Yeah, look what I found. It took me a week to find the big blue cup, but I found it. Okay, we're back. That's just for the Runyons, because I know that's really important to them. And they're here under hurricane watch. So that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Thank you guys so much for muscling through the tech problems today. I'll be honest with you, there were so many tech problems with YouTube and so many issues. I don't have a clip of Bill. I usually have clips of comics that I put up here, but I couldn't get any of them loaded from YouTube because it was down. So we're going right to Bill. But that reminds me, I gotta fix the feed now. Let me fix this feed. Let's talk about the news really quick. There's not a lot going on in the news. You know what it is. It's all the election shit. The election shit. It's all the same. Let me just say this about the election shit. I don't want to make a big deal or beat it into the ground, but I will say this. Did anybody think this was going to end any different than it is? Did anybody think for a second that this wasn't going to be the case now when the election was over? Did you for a second think that he was going to lose and then go, oh, it's okay, well, you know what, congratulations. Did anybody think any of that was going to happen? No. This is ending exactly the way I thought it would with this administration. And I'll be honest with you, but even that, I'm like, I'm still at some point, it's what an asshole. How do you not respect the system and not respect, the Constitution and the calm transfer of power that we've always had for decades and decades and decades. I knew he was going to be a pain in the ass. He was going to be difficult, but screw you, man. That's just, I know he's going to trump his way out of here, but he's even exceeding what I thought he would do. I'll be honest with you. So hopefully when they finish recounting all the votes again for no reason, everything will be fine. I worry about the electorate in early December. It seems to me that even the Republicans are like, all right, dude, that's enough. Get it over with. Let's go. Hopefully everybody gets their head together, and that's what happens. That's all. I think that's all I have to say about the election. But nobody thought it was going to be any different than it really was. But I still can't believe. Just when I think Trump can't be a bigger asshole, he does something else, and I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe how much of an asshole you really are. All right, on that light note, all right, let's see who else is here. Robin's here. Tammy's here. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, also, I don't think it's a good idea to, well, whatever. I don't know if I want to get into that. Yeah, I do want to get into it. Maybe Bill will talk about it later. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea to cancel everybody that worked with Trump. I don't know. Let's not start judging people for their work decisions. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think, I think we might be going too far. You should watch Lenny's Bender demo video. Okay, great. All right, let's do this, man. This show started out with a train wreck. Let's end it strong. Let's get to the guest. Let's do it right. Folks, this guy, I mentioned in the promo earlier today, he's a Chicago legend. I believe he is. I worked with him for years. He was one of the guys when I started out that I watched all of the time, and I got to work on the road. Ironically, I worked with him right after I read the book, Rush Limbaugh's A Big Fat Idiot, and we talked about that book all the way to Bloomington. That, and because the week before I worked with a guy named Ken Severa, who's the opposite point of view, and we talked about all of it. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, folks, please welcome my good friend Bill Gorgo. Here he is. There he is. Hopefully we have sound. I didn't check to see if your sound was working. Son of a, wait, damn it. Bill, your sound's not working. I know that's not on my end. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Yeah, I'm getting something from you, Bill, but I'm just not getting I'm not getting words. No, that mic isn't working. Damn, I don't hear that either. I don't hear your words. I'm getting some sort of feedback from you, but I'm not getting words because I can cut your. This is the best. Where's he going? Bill just said screw it. Bill's leaving. Good for Bill. If I was Bill, I'd leave. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is my time. My time is valuable. I'm in a quarantine right now. I got shit to do locked in my house. Everybody's saying hello. We'll walk you guys through. Okay, he's plugging in another microphone. This is great. This is like a magic trick. It's like a magic trick in the Bozo Show where you show me the string and then the card. Still can't hear it. No, nothing. I'm getting something from you, but I'm just not getting anything. This is so depressing. Oh, I heard a click. Oh, look, he's another microphone. I can hear the plugging in. No, I can hear you. I can hear you plugging in. I just can't hear you talking. Is the do you have the right feed? Do you have the right feed on your microphone? He's going hello, hello, hello. Okay, can you hear me? I know you can hear me. Okay, I know you can hear me. We can't hear you. You can't hear your words. I am getting some sort of mic feed from you, so that means that either your not settings aren't on or your volume is down on your microphone. Do you have a microphone on the laptop? Can you just unplug and go with the sound mic? Yeah, I'm glad Tammy's laughing. They're enjoying the show. Everyone's enjoying the show. This is great. It's just two old guys trying to make a computer work. That's what the show's turned into. We're like the two old guys from the Muppets right now with that shot. Yeah, I'm not getting anything from your microphone. I'm getting a sound connection, but not a microphone connection. He's tried 3 different microphones. Because oh no, the sound on the other stuff is working here. Yeah, see? I'm just going to sit here and stare at each other. Can you unplug? What if you unplug the mic and go with the mic from the computer? I can hear that. What are you doing? Is this show? It is show 17. You guys pay way too much attention. Thank God I have loyal fans that tune in and watch the show regularly because they're reminiscing. Did you have you tried unplugging the microphone and using? Do you have a built-in microphone in your laptop? He keeps trying to talk. I can't hear anything he's saying. Dude, I got an idea. Hold on. Hey, can you hear me? Say something into the phone.
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. This is working. I got you. I'm feeding you through my microphone through the phone.
All right.
They can hear that. This is like just we sound like we're in MASH right now.
This is the way they did it during the Civil War.
This is exactly the way they did video interviews during the Civil War. This is the best.
What kind of can are you using?
I got a SpaghettiOs can. Thank you very much. I carry that with. I carry that with me everywhere. I'm pretty sure they can hear you pretty well this way. I'm pretty sure they can hear you.
I'm enjoying the sound delay. If I watch myself.
Yeah, let's not. Don't. If we're going to hurt ourselves if we do that.
Closing my eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Back and forth.
Yeah, everybody can hear you perfectly now. Everybody hears you. Yeah, they can hear you fine. Everybody hears you. This is how I got an issue. This is how we're going to do this if we can't figure out the microphone thing. The problem was for you guys at home. We had glitches and they couldn't do sound before the show, so we booted up and we never got the sound figured out before the show. And I thought, well, we'll just pick it up when we get going, and then none of that happened.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah, we did. Here we go. See, and we made it work. Hey,
long time.
Hey, we figured it out. It's working. Who gives a shit about the quality or whatever? Who cares?
I tried. Laptop number 1, no go. Laptop number 2 has mental illnesses that I can't address. Then I tried the iPhone. Then I went back to computer number 1, and now we're using a mix and mingle
This is great.
version. A little bit of this, a
Yeah.
little bit of that, and it's working.
Yeah, it
So
is
that's
working.
good.
I love the fact that I put so much money into the sound equipment and my audio condenser and all this stuff and my internet connection and the laptop, and I'm actually holding a phone next to a microphone, just like when I was in 6th grade. When I used to listen to I used to play a song for my girlfriend over the radio. You ever did that? I used to hold the phone up to the radio.
I've got another great idea.
Yeah.
I will text you
Okay.
my phone number,
Yeah.
and then you can call me, and I can put you on speaker,
Okay.
because then I won't have to hold the phone, and I can gesture with both hands like an Italian's supposed to.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Let's try that. And take it a step further. I have a speaker here. I'm pretty sure I can run my phone into the speaker, which you'll come through much more clear and with bass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let's try that. Let's give that a shot. Okay. Let's go. All right. Call me. Oh, I was texting. Yeah. Text me your phone number. All right. Where's my? Wait. All right. No one move. I got to find my speaker. I just had it because I panicked and threw it. Well, abandon the call because it's going to get better in a second. This is all going to get better in a second. Yeah, hang up and text me. Okay, do that. Okay, all right, everybody, guys. I can't thank you enough for sticking around. All right, we're going to fix all this, guys. I promise you, man. Thank you so much, guys. Love the tech issues. Yeah, this is like the old. This is like the old days. This is remember when the show first started, and it was a complete train wreck all the time. You remember that? All right, man. Let's give Bill a shot. Guys, thanks. Stick around. This is going to be fun. The live version of the show is going to be weird, but when I edit it, it might be different. Who knows? But yeah, these tech issues are the best. I can't believe it. This is the coolest. All right, hold on, man. Hold on, Bill. Let me go Bluetooth. Make sure that I'm connected to the thing. There we go. We're getting so much closer to stuff going on. Hang on. Now we call Gorgo. Call Bill. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. You're not coming through in the speaker, though, but that's not that big of an issue. Hold on. Oh, hit the wrong button. Hang on, Bill. I can hear you. Great.
Okay, next step, I'm going to mail you some questions.
Can you mail me some questions? All right. All right. The step I can't get this connected to the phone, but I do have the phone, so that's workable. Okay. Let's try it again. All right. Say something.
What should I say? Hello, Lenny.
There we go. There we go. That works, folks. Welcome Bill Gorgo to the show. There he is. Look.
Yay!
Yay! It's all working. There we go. Perfect, man.
How about damn time?
Yeah. Sorry. What time is it? Jeez, it took us 45 minutes to get that going, right? Yeah, it was 30 minutes. 30 minutes of prep. It's the worst setup ever.
Edit a lot of this out.
Yeah, if you're watching the show live, you've turned it off 20 minutes ago, except for my loyal followers that are here all the time. Because of the best.
I'd like to apologize to the person who was signing for me during this first 45 minutes.
There's one person, just a lot of swear words and confusion.
Just fingers flying.
What's he saying? You don't want to know what he's saying. You don't want any part of that. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing very well. I'm excellent. I'm very good, very good. I'm healthy. I'm busy. You know, things are good. I can't complain.
And we have figured out how we can communicate when the revolution starts.
Yeah, we're going to need to know all this stuff in the next few weeks anyway. Everything's going to, at COVID, there's going to be another shutdown. He's not going to leave the White House, and then we're all going to be, the power's going to be off. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I was willing to laugh it off until he started messing with the Pentagon. That's got me a little nervous.
Yeah, I know. The spiteful firing of people in charge of, our defense is a little fucking creepy. Yeah, right. That's where someone needs to go into the office. Someone needs to go in there and just go, okay, that's enough, sir. It's time to leave. It's time to go right now.
But who's going to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know, but someone's got to do something, man. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks.
And, I heard what you said about, I don't think we should cancel his supporters.
Yeah.
But his enablers, I think we got to cancel them.
Well, that's the thing with the Republican Party that really pissed me off the most was how many people just looked the other way and put up with everything and just said, oh, well, yeah, he's the president. He's going to have to, he can do whatever he wants. He can do that. He has a right. Everywhere, Ted Cruz is always the number one. I mean, he called Ted Cruz's wife ugly, accused his dad of being involved in the Kennedy assassination, and then 6 months later, Ted Cruz, they're buddies. And you're like, oh, come on, man. Really? That's all right. All right, well, on to happier things, man. What are you doing? What's going on in Chicago, dude? Did they shut down again? I know Rosemont closed Zanies.
I don't think it's legal to knock on the door of a restaurant at this point.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know. It's getting... well, in Nevada, they just had the thing yesterday, or today, the governor came out and highly suggested everyone voluntarily stay home for 2 weeks. He was like...
In Illinois, we've got a rookie governor and a rookie mayor in Chicago.
Right.
And they've been doing everything that's been recommended. And then they take the blame from both sides. They take the blame for recommending it, and they take the blame for the consequences of people ignoring the recommendations.
Yeah, right.
How can that be?
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're a new guy on the block. You get blamed. Well, everybody just points at you, and you're the one that's in trouble.
You don't want us to close the restaurants, but you don't want to wear a mask.
Right. Yeah, right.
I'm baffled by that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Where were the protests for seatbelts? Where?
I know, we just talked about that.
And that's all for you. You don't wear your seatbelt, it doesn't hurt me unless you fly out of the car and hit me in the head.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with people in the car next to you or or people around you. It's not you're not contagious without a seatbelt.
You didn't protest that. If there was ever you have your own choice whether to live or die, it was seatbelts.
Yeah.
And nobody protested.
Right.
Now, I want you to wear a mask so I don't get sick. I don't give a shit if we die.
Right. Dude, I saw a guy this afternoon, 2 people in the McDonald's this afternoon complaining about literally out loud complaining about not being able to breathe. This is ridiculous. I can't, and they're just, they're fighting between each other. I can't take this anymore. It's ridiculous. I can't breathe. I go, yes, you can. If you're talking, you can breathe, first of all. Shut up. So don't play that game. Don't play the 4th grade game with me. I can't breathe. Don't give me that bullshit. You know what I mean? If
2 words, drive through.
Yeah. You could be in your car right now, by the way. Did you want to come in here?
It's a McDonald's.
Yeah. You don't have to be in here. There's only 3 people in here. 2 of us have to be here, by the way. You could leave. And by the way, you shouldn't be eating McDonald's anyway, you jerk. It's not good for you. Go get a salad or something.
I said the other night, it's come to the point, I saw a guy with a ski mask so he couldn't be identified while he was protesting wearing masks.
Dude, that's great. You got to keep that. You got to write that down. That's a good one.
It's just all, there's a little bit of insanity involved.
No, there's a lot of insanity involved. Well, I'm going to be interested what happens when they shut it back down again, because they're gonna. The more I keep thinking about, I'm like, maybe it's gonna, but the more news I hear every day, it's just a matter of time before they shut everything down again. Maybe when Biden gets in, maybe he shuts it down for a month, maybe to something.
We are sicker now as a country than we've ever been before.
Right.
Just say that sentence.
Yeah.
We are sicker now as a country. I'm just talking about the flu.
Yeah.
Or the corona.
Right.
We're sicker now than we have ever been before.
Right.
The last time North America was this sick, it was Native Americans dying from European diseases.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Well, look at the example. Look at the president, dude. You know, he eats McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he's doesn't really exercise. He's not really healthy. It's you know nobody pushes.
And let's celebrate his election by making sure more people in the White House get the coronavirus.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for the dust to settle. I
hope it doesn't settle over me.
Yeah. You look good, Bill. You look fantastic. I like it.
Knock on whatever.
Wait. So if you're not getting, are you doing Zoom shows? Or are you doing any comedy on Zoom?
I tried a couple of Zoom shows. Not for me.
Yeah,
Just
right.
not for me.
Yeah.
I like the conversation's fine. I love it.
Conversation through a phone with a microphone.
That's not what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The feedback isn't there.
Yeah, it's hard. I only did it. I was doing them to try and stay in touch with material and try to do something creative, But the show's not anywhere near as rewarding as a live show. You know that. I'm with you.
The best I worked with, John DeCasa, you must remember John.
Yeah, of course.
Has a theater show that they're doing for the patrons of the theater. On a Wednesday, a couple of comics come in. It's very safety-oriented. And there's 10 people in the audience, socially distanced and masked. You play to the 10. They video it, and then they show the video.
Okay.
So it's a compromise. I
Yeah.
get the satisfaction of some live feedback, and everybody stays safe.
Right.
Zoom shows you don't have that. I can tell if you're smiling. I mean, you can put the audience on the Zoom screen, but I'm not used to
Yeah.
looking at the Brady Bunch to see how I'm doing.
Yeah. Plus, if you do one, I just did one with a couple hundred people, like a lot of people, like a corporate function thing. You got to scroll through to see all those people. There's not 150 people on the screen. You only get like the Brady Bunch, and then you got to switch to the next Brady Bunch and switch to the next Brady Bunch.
What people forget is that Zoom was developed for business conferences.
Right.
One person talking at a time, everybody else paying attention.
Yeah.
And although there's only one of us talking in a comedy show, it is a dialogue, and we need that feedback all the time.
Right.
Non-verbally as well as verbally.
Yeah.
And Zoom doesn't do it. Worst is when the other people on the screen are the other comics who are on the Zoom show.
Right.
Because, comics ain't going to give it up.
Yeah.
Just because you're talking.
They're looking at their notes.
They got other stuff on their mind. Right.
They're flipping. You're writing stuff down. And you're like, hey, what are you writing down? What are you writing down right now? Don't be writing that down. That was my Zoom joke.
There's nothing worse than doing a line and seeing 6 comics going, well, I can't do that one.
Start crossing jokes off. Gah! There goes my closer. Gah! He did the thing about COVID. Gah!
But I've done a few live shows in the last couple of months. They're starting to figure out how to socially distance an audience, what the mask protocol should be.
Right.
I mean, if you've been in isolation with the same 3 people for a month and a half, sit at the same table. You're not running any bigger risk sitting at a table with them.
Right.
So, and if I'm on stage and I don't have to shake hands afterwards and socialize, everything's good.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Well,
it's not a packed house at Zany's on a Saturday, but
no, I know, man. It's yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm annoyed. The last week has been rough because I think it's just getting worse. I think we're heading for another 6 months of really bad shutdown and nothing going on. And I didn't think this would last 8 months, let alone going into next year. But it looks like it's going to be at least a year.
The amazing thing is they're saying vaccine by April for everybody. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a year.
Yeah, right.
the record before that was, what, 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years. No, it's insane right now. They're blistering through those test trials. I guess Pfizer's got the one that's supposed to be the most popular. It's like a 90-something%, whatever. And the drawbacks, they're going. They talked to a bunch of people today that had taken it. Most of the people said when they take it, like, you know, every once in a while you get the flu vaccine, you feel a little weird or whatever. You know, it's never too bad. But they say it's like having a really bad hangover. That's how they explained it. They go, it's like having a really bad hangover.
So scary.
Yeah, I can live with it. I've had a lot of those. I can live with a bad hangover.
What I wouldn't give for a really bad hangover.
Well, can I take...
The best news on the whole virus thing is they're saying that the platform they've developed will make future vaccines a piece of cake.
Oh, I bet they are.
That they can just slot in new viruses as they pop up.
Yeah, they're almost like creating a new template because they have they have a new now, and suddenly, well, you know, what's the word? Necessity is the mother of invention type of thing. You know what I mean? Where suddenly they create this thing. They'll look back on this someday and go, why did it ever take 6 years for a vaccine? When did that change? And someone will go, oh, COVID changed all that. So they were able to get it done within a year. After that, they had no problem getting vaccines. Now we can do a vaccine in 6 months.
And you know what? At that point, vaccine becomes part of the evolutionary process.
Yeah.
The people who don't believe in vaccines will die.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the
survival of the
fittest, survival of the smartest. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Then they don't have a choice. There's no more arguing. All those anti-vax protests and clubs or meetings, they'll be weeded out pretty quick.
Well, the good news is no comic is going to become an anti-vaxxer now because it's already been done.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah.
It's hack.
It's hack. That's hack. I don't know part of it. Oh, man. So I mentioned the first time I loved working with you years ago. I have so much respect for you as a comic. Are you still teaching? You were teaching for a while, weren't you?
I was teaching straight school and I was teaching comedy classes at the same time.
Right.
My last straight school class, I was teaching a theater class to middle schoolers. It ended March 1st.
Oh, no. This year? So just before the... okay. All right.
And my last comedy class ended March 7th.
Oh, gee. Wow, that's pretty good timing.
What's the most important thing in timing?
Yeah, you got it all figured out. Good for you. You just wrapped it up, went home, and locked yourself in the basement.
The thing I'm saddest about, for the last 2 years, I've been doing what I call Writer's Circle.
Yeah.
It's about 40 comics in Chicago. I send out the invite. First 7 people are the circle for that week. And we would meet in my basement. Well, then COVID came along.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I got a nice backyard. And so for the summer, we'd meet in my backyard.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, where do we meet? I mean, it's too cold to sit outside for 2 hours.
Oh, that's right, Chicago. You'd be all bundled. So, dude, that's the one. See, that's what COVID's going to be, because I live in L.A., bro. It's cold here, but it's chilly. You know, we're 40s and 50s at the most. But pretty soon, you're not going to be able to sit anywhere outside. That's going to be hard, man. COVID's going to be way harder in those Midwest and those winter towns.
Fortunately, in a sense, it kind of prepares us at the same time. Because I can sit inside and pretend the snow is really bad.
Right.
For about 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
We've been isolated before by the weather, so...
Yeah, that's true.
My sister and I talk about that all the time. That we were kind of raised for these conditions.
Yeah, I used to get, what do they call it, when you felt locked in the house around April, you wanted to get out. You finally couldn't wait to get out of the house. Yeah.
Cabin fever.
That's it, cabin fever. Yeah, cabin fever. Yeah, we were talking about that here because my girls love me, and they're used to doing a lot of stuff over the summer. But at least we can still kind of drive up and down the beach and go. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can still do here. And we can go outside, walk around. Like, we go on hikes here big time. We're really big on going on hikes and walks. And You can do that here all year long. That's not going to be an
I go,
issue
to,
for us.
I go to the grocery store, same thing.
I said, where you get your hike
And down there.
through the produce. Dude, I love that. Up and down the produce section. Do you count your steps and all that stuff?
I'm very lucky. I moved out to the suburbs about 5 years ago. And so I've got a house, a yard. There's always something to do. And there's always room to move around without leaving the property.
Oh, that's cool.
So if I was in a one-bedroom like I had been for a long time, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, you'd be locked in. Someone keeps... I've turned this off. Someone keeps texting me. They don't realize texting me is affecting the show brutally right now. Hold on. Let's see if I can turn that off. All right, that might work. All right, let's try that.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, and we're back, folks. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. So, dude, you've been doing comedy way longer than me. I know that. So, how long have you been doing comedy? Where are you at?
35 years.
35 years. Oh, then not that much longer than me. 5 more years than me.
85.
Okay. 85. All right. And always in the Chicago area? You have, right?
Mostly east of the Mississippi.
Okay. But you mainly lived in Chicago. You never made the move to L.A.
I lived in Chicago the whole time and don't like to fly. Plus, I wasn't, for the first 20 years, you're not making enough money to fly.
Dude, you're not making it now, right? Exactly.
So,
flying was like a treat. If you did, you had to know someone that could get you on like a family member that worked at an airline or, one of those deals. You weren't flying anywhere back then.
But even then, I have a daughter, and my mom was ailing for a long time, and I never felt like just ditching it for the road as a way of life.
Right.
And a lot of comics with fewer connections didn't mind relocating and that kind of stuff, but that was never in the cards for me from jump.
Right.
So I made myself as successful as I could regionally.
Well, dude, that's smart. That's kind of like Toomey was along the same lines. Mike Toomey did that for years early on.
Larry Reed,
yeah.
Tim Cavanaugh.
Well, there's a ton of Chicago guys actually that have. Look at John DeCoste is another guy. He's a great guy. That's. And then Zanies did the thing that was brilliant. They started doing that house MC thing, which was a great gig, and I actually got in on that right when he started doing it. I did Downtown for a month, and I did Pheasant Run for a month, and a couple other ones. And that's a gig where the same guy just hosts the shows for like 4 weeks in a row, and they were able. Zanny was for those of you at home. Everybody that did the hosting, most of the hosts are guys that are veteran headliners that have been around for 25, 30 years. So
Vince Moranto.
Yeah, Moranto. Yeah, Vince has been on this show. And so then Bert, who runs Zanies, had the advantage of having a headliner at the front of the show and a headliner at the back of the show. Man, it just made the quality shows at Zanies so much better. And
they had the benefit of income with low overhead.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And they were staying. They wouldn't have to travel. The guys would be at home. Wouldn't have to. And guys would work certain rooms. Like DeCoste did Pheasant Run a lot because it was closer to his house. And when I did Downtown, I was living in the city. I just took the L every day to Zanies. 6 nights. It was a great gig. And it was a really good gig writing wise because you could write. You did so many shows. You did a ton of shows every week.
And now Zanies is, of course, down to 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And the whole when I started at least, there were 10 full-time, full-week A rooms
in Chicago area. Yeah.
Plus, innumerable weekends, one night a week, here and there, hit and miss shows. You didn't have to leave the county.
No.
To make a living.
When I started in L.A., excuse me, and I would go back and forth. But when I could go back to Chicago and work out of Chicago for 3 months, and not have to leave. So I would live in Chicago and work all that whole northern Indiana stuff and all the A rooms there, and then plus at the time I was a middle or featuring, so I could do rooms more often. So it didn't really matter, whether or not because usually when you headline, you're there once or twice a year or whatever.
Then you take a swing through Michigan for Yoder and a swing through Wisconsin for Fletcher Lee. And,
yeah.
you could make a pretty good living in 3 states.
No, it was great. And plus, not to count, not the fallouts. If there was a fallout or somebody would call you up, and that was the advantage. Also, Chicago's centralized, which was great because you could be sitting. I would get a call on a Friday morning, like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, just nothing. I'm actually off or whatever. You want to go to Eau Claire? And then you would be like, I don't know if I want to go to Eau Claire because, it's, but yeah, I'll go. I'll pick it up. You didn't have many weekend nights off. So when you had one off, it seemed like they found out.
I went back to full-time teaching in the mid-'90s, and at that point, I was still able to work locally, and particularly weekends, I could even hit the road. And I swear there were years where half my income was other comics fallout.
Yeah, I believe that. That's smart, man. That was before COVID. That was also the Vegas thing. Like when I was in Vegas last year, I would have moved to Vegas if it wasn't for the fact my daughter's moved in with me here. But I talked to guys that live in Vegas, and they're like, dude, I make a ton of money off of Fallout corporate gigs and Fallout showroom gigs, and something happens and they need a comic for one night, and I'm here, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I made almost 35 grand one year off of just Fallout shit.
I was the Smokey Burgess at Chicago Comedy for a while.
You were what?
I need a picture. Who's available? Well, in fact, AJ Rantini will tell you, when he and I were living on Lincoln Avenue, that was Bert's first call whenever he had a fallout, was our apartment.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because there were 3 comics. If none of us were available, we would still say, hang on, and we'd call.
Yeah.
We would do his booking for him. And
yeah, you guys
we wanted him to keep calling for when we were available.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That way, yeah, if you're feeding him, see, it's smart, man. If you're feeding the palm, he's going to keep coming to you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's clever. That's good. And then he knows he can call you and get somebody for sure. That's genius.
Always say yes. That was my rule. Always say yes.
Always say yes. Yeah, I'll be right there. Even when you're not sure if you can do it. We were talking that before. Can you do an hour?
The weird thing is, after you get them somebody, 2 people owe you a favor. The person you got,
yeah,
and the person you got them for thinks that you did them a favor.
Yeah,
you're
scoring points left and right. Smart.
Always
yeah, look, it's always thinking. It's your own little business there. Yeah, you guys lived upstairs from Lounge Acts, right? Didn't you, or at least in that area?
Block over, but yeah.
Yeah, man, that was great. That was good. Yeah, man, those are the days back then.
Lounge Acts used to be Comedy Land on Lincoln, and that's where I went up the first time.
Oh, did you really? Comedy Land on Lincoln.
Pat McCurdy.
Oh, no way. Pat McCurdy?
Pat McCurdy, Lounge Acts was one of his Chicago stops for many years.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And that was after Comedy Land on Lincoln vanished. Jimmy Wiggins' last really good room.
I love Jimmy Wiggins. I love that guy. Yeah. I think he's in Oregon or Utah or something now, I think. I don't know. Oh, Wiggins. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Jimmy Higgins. Ah, you're saying Higgins. No, Jimmy Wiggins, the last American hippie. Yes, absolutely. That was another guy I loved working on the road with. Except he would drive all the way to the gig, and he'd get stoned, and I couldn't. I'm like, he's like, you want to hit? I don't know. I gotta go. I was the guy. I never performed stoned. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't like to get high before I did a show.
He never performed not stoned.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I would travel with him. He would smoke like 2 or 3 joints, and I'm like, how do you? That's insane. Like 2 hits and I would be gone. I smoked pot once and did a show with Killer Bees back at Snickers in Fort Wayne. This is in the early 90s. This is a long time ago. And it was the night we taped the show or whatever. I only did 10 minutes, but I was miserable the whole 10 minutes. It felt like it was an hour and a half. I mean, I was not happy. So that was literally the last time I smoked pot before I traveled. And then I worked with Jimmy a bunch of times after that because I was a feature. So I ended up with those guys all the time, just going on the road and driving somewhere. But he would just smoke the whole ride. And I was driving. I'm like, yeah, you can smoke. Go ahead. And are you sure you don't want any? I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't know how you're functioning right now.
My drug of choice performing was always coffee.
Dude, you were the only guy I ever saw in my life. That was one of the things I respected so much about you, or that blew me away. You're the first guy I worked with that would sit down in a chair and drink coffee. I was always amazed to see you do that. The only guy I ever saw was drink coffee on stage.
You know why?
No, why?
Anxiety.
What? Coffee?
I would get too much adrenaline before a show, and I hated that because I wanted to look calm and relaxed.
Really?
Coffee counteracts adrenaline.
For you or for everyone? For you?
For everybody.
For really? I didn't know that.
When I was teaching, I thought I had invented this. When I went back to teaching, we had a workshop. The lady comes in. She says, if you've got kids with ADHD and they're off their meds and they're going crazy, give them a Coca-Cola. And we're like, no, we're not that stupid.
Yeah, isn't that the opposite?
They said, no. What it does is it blocks the receptors. All of the anti-ADHD stuff, like Adderall and all that, they're all like amphetamine.
Right.
It's all counterintuitive.
Right.
What coffee does, I say, it's like you can practice having a coffee buzz. You drink 2 cups of coffee and you're on a plateau for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Where adrenaline is, 5 minutes up and down. So if you drink enough coffee, adrenaline is just like a little pimple on coffee's ass. You don't even notice the adrenaline. Okay. And that was my goal. I hated the adrenaline rush.
Really? Okay.
And a lot of guys, that's why they're in comedy.
Yeah, I love the
yeah.
I love the adrenaline rush. That's one of the reasons I didn't like smoking the pot beforehand, because I would get I would be all. I'm one of those guys. If I get high, I'm out of it. I'm just sit there in a chair and stare at a TV show and watch cartoons. So and
I'm my act, pretty much.
No, it's not.
You've described my act.
That's your that's your act on a chair, making comments. But I'm high energy on stage, so it totally it defeated my purpose. So I couldn't
Years ago, Billy Hudson and I went down to St. Louis to audition for Funny Bone.
Yeah.
And Billy was high energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Way high. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're backstage before the show, and Al Canal comes in. He goes, "Oh, I know the 2 Bills from Chicago," and he points to Hudson and says, "You're Gorgo," because Hudson's just sitting there, and I'm pacing back and forth. He says, "And you must be Hudson." So, no. He's resting up. I'm trying to burn off every bit of adrenaline I got.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But it was Al, so we didn't want to get too feisty.
Yeah. So you know all the old Chicago guys, because I didn't start.
A lot of the young ones.
Yeah, you what?
And a lot of the
you know some of the young ones, no.
Yeah.
But I didn't start in Chicago, so I didn't know. I didn't do a lot of stuff at Who's. I didn't do a lot of stuff at the Womb. And Mark Schufield just passed away, which in the last few weeks. Who was? I love Mark Schufield. He was great. He was a great guy. We watched my brother Mike and I did that room the night of the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. And we were doing shows, and it was amazing because my brother Mike, who's very quick, is a very good writer. He's very fast. He was doing OJ jokes all night, and it was still fresh in everybody's mind. It's still early on in the OJ thing, and up until that moment, I still thought he was innocent. I was still like, "There's no way this guy would do this." And then the second I saw the Bronco chases, when it hit me, I go, "Oh my God, he totally did this." I'm like, that's when it hit me. But Mark and I sat in the back watching that chase the whole night.
I thought they said he was not guilty.
Well, the history's been rewritten. I know, it's a little messed up. But Mark used to have the pennies all laminated onto the bar back there, and he used to joke about scraping pennies off to get your pay. He used to say all the time, "Scrape a few pennies off. Nice set tonight." It was a really good job.
And for him, it was a joke. For Big Ed, it would have been reality.
It was reality, yeah, right.
But you'd have to bring your own scraper.
Yeah, right. And you got to move quick. Yeah. He's got a clock on you.
You don't have a scraper, go to Jay's.
Yeah. Go to Jay's. He used to have that printed on cards everywhere. He used to hand it out. Go to Jay's.
Go to Jay's.
We're going to talk, go to Jay's.
Yeah, I came up just as that was playing itself out. The big Big Ed battle.
The big fallout. Yeah, I came in right in the heat of it. And it
I
was
remember what Wiggins said. He said, whoever's right, who's ever wrong, just keep in mind they spent $100,000 on lawyers that they should have been paying comics.
yeah, right, exactly. That's true. Yeah, that was a train wreck. That was a weird explosion, man. They all went their separate ways, and then had different rooms, and it was a really interesting time. But that's back when there was so many rooms again in Chicago. Everybody left and got their own room.
I worked for both of them by the simple expedient of being Wiggins' guy.
Oh, really?
In that sense, I didn't really align myself with either one of them.
Right.
So I would take gigs if they offered, but I never called them for work. I never kowtowed. Because Jimmy always had a crappy room here, a crappy room
Yeah, right.
there. He could always help fill out my schedule.
I think Jay was the first guy I worked for a one-nighter. I remember I did New Buffalo, and it was featuring for Mike Ostrowski. And I remember I had just come to Chicago. I grew up in Chicago, but I lived in LA, and this is my first time working in the Chicago area. And I did the gig, come back to New Buffalo, and I had to pick up the money at Jay's Club in Rosemont or whatever for some reason. I had to go to get the money. So he gives me the money, and it's off like $50 or whatever. I thought you said this much. And he goes, no, I said this much. And I go, and I wasn't a dick, and I don't argue about money. I'll go, okay, I'm not working for you anymore. And he's like, what? I go, I'm not working for you anymore. I go, this is what we said, and that's not what it is, so I'm leaving. So we're good. You know, you take what you said, and I'll take what I said, but I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call you for gigs anymore. I just want you to know that. It was nice to meet you, and I left. I'm nice to meet you. See you guys later. But out the door, and he followed me outside, dude, and gave me an extra $50 at my car. And he goes, here, I don't want you to be. I'm telling you, I was being honest with you, but I don't want you to leave here with that attitude and a bad mood. And from that moment, I was like, I knew two things. One, he was trying to fuck me on the 50. You know what I mean? I knew he was totally trying to cheese me. And two, I just called him on it, and he was like, okay, well, he called me on it, and I'll give you the money. So,
as many of those situations have occurred with comics all over the United States,
yeah,
the pay was never over.
Yeah, it was never, ever, ever.
How did that happen?
Dude, it's never happened once. Dude, one time I got paid. I'm going to tell the story anyway. I'm going to tell the story. I was working the Funny Bone in Quad Cities. And I can't remember the guy that was booking it at the time. But I got the money, and they count the money. I'm featuring for Angel Salazar. I'm working for Angel Salazar, right? And they give me the money. And they gave me the money, and I drive home, and I didn't count it. You know, he counted it and gave it to me, and I just took his word for it. I was standing there watching him. And I went home. And drove home to Chicago that night. At the time, I was with my wife, and we're in the north side. And I pulled the money out, and I look at it, and it's 20s. And I go, that's a lot of 20s. And I pull them out, and I count it. It's double. It's double what it's supposed to be. I go, that doesn't make any sense. So I counted again, and I'm thinking about it. I go, shit, what should I do? I go, this is double what I thought I was going to get. Should I call him? Should I not? And I go, well, if I don't call him, I'm never going to work for him again. It could be a problem. You know? So let me just call him and let him know what's going on. So I call up, and I go, hey, I think you paid me too much money. And he goes, no, I don't think so. I think, no, I think we're good. I think we're square. I'll double check the till and all that stuff. And they call me back and they go, no, you were fine. And I go, that can't be right. It can't be right. And 2 or 3 weeks later, the guy that managed the room got fired for stealing, for embezzling. So from afterwards, when we put it all together, he was stealing, and the money he was going to steal, he gave to me, the manager, but I called the owner to tell him that I got paid double. So they looked into it. So I got the money he was stealing, but he didn't want to say anything about it. He's like, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. So he got caught because I called in and he double paid me. You know what I'm saying? So I got his money, and he ended up getting fired for embezzling afterwards, for stealing. But
so he was stealing for you.
He was stealing for me. Well, I guess this has been going on for weeks, and they finally caught it, and I'm like, oh, then I got that money. So that was the one time that's ever worked out. Because, yeah, I made $1,300 that week. I should have made $7 or whatever, or $6.
There was a booker in the Chicagoland area. I won't name names. I worked for him a lot. Every time I worked for him, at the end of the week, he'd take out his checkbook and he'd say, now, what did we say? And every time I said, we didn't say anything. You're going to pay me what you're going to pay me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at the check until I cash it.
Yeah.
If I look at it and go, that's not enough, I'll never say yes again.
Yeah.
If it is enough, I'll look for you next time. Why are you playing this what did we say game like we negotiated
Yeah,
what
right.
features are paid at your club?
Yeah, right.
Besides which, I know every other feature that's worked here for the last month and a half. All I got to do is call up and say, what did you get?
Yeah, what did you get? There's not a floating rate for features out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody negotiated with a feature.
Yeah, nobody. No, you either do it or you go. You don't.
And glad to have it.
Yeah, it's strictly a yes or no gig. Is all it is.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Did you ever work for Creative?
No, I did not work for Creative. That was one I never got in with.
Once. I worked for them once. Their second name should have been Accounting. Creative Accounting.
That wasn't.
At the end of the week, you owed them money. It was amazing.
That wasn't Sobel, right? Sobel was.
No, that was Brad Greenberg.
Brad Greenberg. No, I didn't.
Not,
There was a guy.
Pardon?
There was a guy. Did you ever work for Jeff Connor out in the Dakotas, North Dakota?
No.
I worked for him for years, and he screwed a lot of people over, but never me. For some reason, I got out of that unscathed. In fact, once he gave me a check for $1,000, and I was driving from Sioux Falls to Chicago. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I took a check from him. I don't know what I was thinking. That's the stupidest. This is just dumb. But it cleared. It cleared, and I got my money. But every week there was a bad story about this guy, and it caused a problem with Mueller, with Ken Mueller. And because I wanted to work for Ken, and Ken's like, I can't work you because you work for him, and he's this and he's that. And I go, look, at the time, I go, he's been good to me. He's never lied to me. He's paid me what he said he would pay me. I'm going to stand by. I'm going to stand by him. And you know what I mean? If he's never screwed me over, so I can't just leave him to work with you. I don't find that proper.
My trick getting paid was by check. I learned this a long time ago. I forget who taught me this one. But while they're filling out the check, you say, do me a favor, make it out to cash. Why make it out to cash? I'd say, because if you make it out to me and it bounces, it's a civil suit.
Right.
But if you make it out to cash and it bounces, it's a federal offense, like counterfeiting.
Oh, no
I
way.
don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
But it scared the crap out of, bar managers. That's who you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Bar
They don't know.
managers. Oh, no, this is, you want cash? I'll cash it.
Yeah, let me cash it. I'll cash it.
That'll work fine.
Dude, I used to hate well, it's been a long time. I've been on ships for 7 years, so none of that stuff has really been an issue. And any of the other clubs I work for, I stopped. You've been around long enough. You stop working for the guys where there's phone calls and debates after the fact.
Fortunately, I've been very lucky. The people that might have screwed me, I managed to mostly avoid or stop working for pretty quickly.
Yeah, right.
Are the ships ever going to come back?
I think. Well, I mean, I can only guess. They have a plan to come back, but I believe it's such a big money industry that it'll definitely come back, and I think there'll definitely be work for comedians because they're the easiest ones to book as far as any type of virus situation. The big because now, like I've heard from the ships, and what they're concerned with is how long are you willing to stay in a ship now? Because I used to do a week and then go to another ship for a week, or then do 2 weeks and bounce around a lot. There's not going to be any more of that. It's going to be, if you get on a ship, you're there for like 8 weeks or 6 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. So I told them how long I'd be willing to work, as long as the money stays where it is, where they so far it is. There's just you're going to do more shows now. But I think it'll be back. I think it's a big industry. It pays. There's so much money in cruise ships, and comics are the easiest entertainment for them to book. Because you just depend on one person. Like with a band, you need 5 people. With a cast, you need 6 people. And as a comic, you can stand in a plexiglass stage and tell jokes and entertain the people. And they're going to have to entertain the cruise people to get them to take the cruises.
I think the smart thing would be for 3 months or 4 months just to have vaccine cruises. Come on the cruise, get a vaccine.
Yeah, they're going to try every option. Yeah.
As you're bored.
Yeah. Here you go. Welcome aboard. Yeah.
In fact, depending on who's the president in March.
Yeah. and how the chips fall.
It might be a smart thing to promote.
Yeah. Well,
How do we get everybody vaccinated?
Let's go.
Get a vaccination, go on a cruise.
Get a vaccination, go on a cruise. Throw it in as a package deal. Now it's like an excursion. Now it's like when you're on a cruise and you get an excursion to go see the iceberg. You just get an excursion to go see the vaccine guy. You know what I mean?
Or the iceberg and the vaccine.
There you go. It's all together. You don't even notice. In fact, if you have the iceberg to look at, you don't even notice the shot. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That iceberg is beautiful. What was that? Nothing.
We might start a trend. To remove your gallbladder cruise.
Yeah, this could be bigger. This could be bigger than a vaccine, Bill. This could be, you know.
Let's go.
I'm thinking dental. I'm thinking having a tooth pulled. You know what I mean? That's a great way to go.
Can we get Joe Namath to do the ads? I went on a cruise and I wasn't getting everything I deserved.
Now I got pizza. I got to see an iceberg, and they pulled this Wibston tooth that's been driving me crazy for the last 10 years.
And free meals.
Free meals. It's the best. I highly
Those
recommend.
Commercials are driving me nuts.
Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah, I think they'll be back. There's a lot of money in cruises. I think they'll be back. We'll see. I don't know. I think we're headed to more shutdown and more. I think the next 6 months are going to be really crappy. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be. I think we're going to shut down again. I think they're doing, as far as the cruises go, they gave them this 40-page thing they have to follow. There's a lot of rules. Like Carnival just came out with a thing where they're not going to do any cruises next year over 7 days. That's the thing. Is there aren't going to be any more long cruises because it's easier for them to get guests on and off within a 7-day week. Also, they're going to lose some ports, the farther away ports. And they're going to try to eliminate the Jones Act, which is this cruise to nowhere thing, which will enable cruisers to go to Alaska and come back without having to hit a foreign port. And if they can get away, if they can get that, then that will help them cruise-wise immensely. So who knows? I hope they come back. I'll be honest with you, because I'm delivering food again, which is annoying, you know. But you know, you got to make a buck. So.
Well, and that's as far as Canadians were concerned. Lower tier down cruises where the money was.
Right.
Like it used to be colleges and corporations.
Yeah.
Cruises took that spot over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they totally also because especially with colleges, so much politically correct stuff became an issue. Where the student council or the student body or the president, whatever that they call it, the president of the student functions, they had input on your material. They would say, we don't want you to say this, we don't want you to say that. And a lot of comics are okay with it, but a lot of comics were like, no, I'm not.
And cruises can do the same thing to a degree.
Sure.
But at least the width of what they expect from you, it is a much better fit for most comics.
Right. Right. And most of the people you're playing, like the last few years, the crowds are great, man. The crowds are people that were in clubs back when we were doing, you know, when there were 6 or 10 clubs in Chicago. Those people that were in their 20s at clubs are now in their 50s on cruises. And those are the people that come into every comedy show. You know, the people that follow this show are people that have been following comedy and cruises for years.
Let me ask you kind of a theoretical question, but it pertains, I think, to comics working on cruises. Is it easier for a clean comic to go dirty or a dirty comic to go clean?
I think it's easier for I don't know. It's hard to say because you're always in the middle. But I think it's easier for a dirty comic to go clean.
How so?
Because you need to. Well, you eliminate it. Let me rephrase that. I guess it's easier for a clean guy to go dirty because you can dirty up clean material. But it's not just swearing. It's content. You know what I mean? It has to do, when they talk clean, they want you to not do stuff about drugs, not do stuff about, talk about Santa Claus even. You know, there's certain things you can't say because there might be kids in the room or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, ain't nothing about sex, nothing sexual. It doesn't have to be blue. But, you know, and there a lot of times with the clean shows, they were real strict on political material. They didn't want you to do any political-based material that would divide the room and stuff like that. And none of that has been an issue for me because I was never a comic that divided the room. I was always a guy that just kind of went, you know, they kept it calm. But I've seen clean guys struggle to get dirty because they just add swear words to their clean jokes. So when I explain to them, I go, look, the dirty crowd isn't just a bunch of dumb people wanting dick jokes. They want you to talk about relationships, divorce, sex, drugs, things that adults talk about, things that grown-ups talk about on a regular basis. You can't go in there and tell a Barney joke and just throw an F word in front of Barney and you know what I mean? And expect the adult crowd to go, yeah, that's a joke. You know,
Come on, give it a shot.
It's the content, and as a comic and as a writer, a written material for an adult show is different than written material for a clean show, for a cleaner show. You need to know the difference. It's not a question of being clean or dirty. I think it was always more of a question about being content. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So, and I've seen, the reason I say dirty comics go cleaner, I guess it's a tough question to answer because there's dirty comics who can't survive without being dirty. You know what I mean? There's plenty of guys I've seen like that. And there's clean guys I know that can't survive not being clean. They just can't figure out a way to get dirty. I've talked to a couple guys that just were clean. Like I had way more clean material than I thought I did when I went on ships. I was worried about it going on. They go, you need an hour clean. I go, oh man, I'm in trouble. And I looked at my material and I realized how much stuff I was doing in my regular show that really was clean. If I just didn't swear in it, I could just tell that in a clean show. And it passed fine. I do a lot of stuff about my kids, a lot of stuff about being a parent, and all that stuff works fine in a clean show.
I was always puzzled. I was almost 40 when I started doing comedy. So I was at a point in my life where the distinction between clean and dirty hadn't really entered into my consciousness for at least 10 years.
Yeah, right. Didn't register. Right.
What do you mean? I'm an adult.
Right. Yeah, I'm a grown-up.
Yeah.
Well, I know some guys that do clean shows were struggling with adult shows, and it depends on the crowd, and it depends on the venue. Like the late night shows on 3-day cruises on Carnival are brutal. They're tough. I mean, it's 11:30 crowd on a Friday that's drunk like crazy. I mean, you're gonna be throwing out some F-bombs. You're gonna, it's a lot like a Yoder gig. I swear, the late night on a 3-day cruise, a late night comedy show is just like playing that bowling alley in Bloomington or any of the other Yoder gigs you used to do that were one-nighters. It's a one-nighter. It's just a one-nighter. I know it is. That's exactly. But you had to know that going in, and you're like, well, okay, this one's going to be a battle or whatever. And I was always like, that would never bother me. I was always good with the crowd and dealing with people and all this stuff. But they get active and they get talky. And then the clean shows are the opposite. The clean shows are very quiet. The longer the cruise is, the more tame they are about the material. The shorter cruises are a lot more party type people and a lot more drinking and a lot more rambunctious. Longer cruises are older people, and also the longer cruises though pay attention to material. So you can do a long bit in a earlier show on a long cruise. On a 3-day cruise on a Friday night show, you can't do a bit that's 3.5 minutes long. It's just you can't keep their attention. It's a one-nighter. It is. It's exactly a one-nighter.
The biggest knock I've heard on cruise shows, doing cruise shows from comics, and I've heard a lot of knocks on cruise shows, but the one I hear the most frequently is that people don't make the connection to the buy-in. No matter how much they paid for the cruise, in their mind, they didn't pay anything for the show.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That show descended for free from the comedy tree located on the island they just visited.
Yeah.
And
right.
It had nothing to do with the money that they put out for the cruise ticket. It's like you go on the cruise and you go, look at all the free food. It's like, what do you think you actually paid for?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do a joke about that. I do a joke about that with the kids. My kids were always excited about the desserts. They're like, oh, this stuff is free? I'm like, not really. It's not. And then that's the joke. But yeah, they don't make that connection that it's all one thing. But cruisers kind of know, a lot of cruisers that cruise regularly, they know it's kind of a package. It's a package deal. I mean, but I've seen a lot of them go to all of the shows. They've seen in the showrooms they have shows, with names and Epic Rock and all these things, and they'll go and see the shows with different casts, and they go and see these people all the time, so they know they're getting the shows. But the shows are such a big part of the cruise, especially I think moving forward, the shows are going to have to be they're going to have to be good. They're going to have to get people back on cruise ships because the port thing is going to be an issue for a while, I believe. Some of these ports, because now there's rules when you get off on a port. You can't just go off and walk around Mexico City. I'm sorry, that's landlocked. That's a bad example. You can go.
Yeah, that would be a big problem.
That's an expensive cruise.
Easier.
Yeah, that would cost a lot of money, man, to port in Mexico City.
The last 200 miles were dry.
This is brutal. This is brutal. We were very bouncy. Didn't seem. How are the shocks on this ship? That didn't seem like a good ride at all.
The seas were dirty that day.
These are the dustiest seas ever. It's terrible. It's gross.
Is that a mermaid? No, it's a cactus.
Is that a buoy? No, it's not a buoy. That's a
burley.
Yeah. That's a corn. What do they call that? That's a silo. There's a corn silo. Okay. All right. That seems weird. So, all right, Bill. I think we're gonna wrap it up, dude. I want to have you back on the show though, and we got to get the sound. We'll get the sound thing fixed earlier, and we'll make it easier. And we'll get you back.
I will buy a microphone.
Well, I'll get you back. It's whatever it is, we'll figure it out together. I swear. We'll have you on when it's better, and we'll get you on earlier so there wasn't so much of a train wreck.
I'd love to.
Yeah, thank you. And then we can have a decent conversation. But it was still good. We covered a lot of stuff. Everybody, guys, thank you so much. Huh?
It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you, dude. It's good seeing you, even though it's digitally. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a long, long time. Guys, give Bill Gorgo a round of applause. Thank you for all being here. Everybody stayed to watch the show. You guys are great. Let me hit. All right, that's Bill Gorgo. I'm going to cut off the sound now. I'm going to cut Bill's sound. There we go. Bill's sound has been cut. Folks, no, that was Bill. That was Bill. That's me. This is me. That's me. There you go. That's me. Boom. There we go. I apologize. This was a bit of a train wreck. You guys were great, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying here. This show was really weird. It was all over the places. I had tons of issues early on with YouTube and the connections, and everything went down and the feed wasn't good, and I apologize. I'm going to have Bill back as soon as possible, and we'll get it fixed. We'll get it all fixed. If you enjoyed the show, or if you want to help me if you want to help me at all, there you go. You can go to any one of those options right there. Some financial support options. There's 4 of them. There's the website, Venmo, Cash App is brand new. Patreon page. Also, I mentioned this earlier. For some of you guys that are on and you throw money out all the time for every show, $25 here, $30. I appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. I'm not going to deter you from throwing money out. But if you want to join the Patreon page for $1 a month, even $5 a month or $1 a month, you're in the loop on everything. I'm going to send an email out to the Patreon people actually, tonight, right after the show. I'm sending a Patreon email out as we speak. And you guys are great for sticking around. And the Runnions, thank you. Are you guys good? Your power stayed on through the whole show. I appreciate that. That's good. That means the hurricane whatever wanted you to watch the show. So we got that going. Thank you guys so much. Guys, take care of yourselves. Always do me a favor. I'll see you in 2 days. Where am I get? Let's see if I can get this right. The guest in 2 days. Hold on. Everything has gone very, very well today. Oh, all right, we'll get this right. Tommy Orr will be on Friday. I hope I get it right because he's a piano guy. He plays music, and if I can't get sound right for him, his music is going to sound terrible through a phone into the microphone. That's not going to be solid at all. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here as always. I apologize for the mistakes, but thanks for sticking with me. And you guys, as always, please do me a favor. Dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase their shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy Channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.